All right, if you're a CBSE Class 12 student, you know that data structures are a huge deal. So today, we're going to demystify one of the most important ones, the stack. We'll cover everything you need for your exams, but more importantly, we're going to zero in on those common traps where students often lose marks. So let's get right into it. So here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off by asking a really basic question. Why do we even need to organize data in the first place? Then we'll dive headfirst into the stack, see how it all works in Python, tackle some real exam questions, and finally, I'll show you how you're using stacks every single day, probably without even realizing it. Okay, so let's start at the absolute beginning. Before we can even get into what a stack is, we have to understand the bigger picture. Why do we bother structuring data at all? I mean, what's the problem we're actually trying to solve here? Well, think about it like this. Imagine your school keeps a list of student names in one file, but their attendance records are in a totally separate file managed by someone else. Now, what happens if a student's name has a little typo? If it only gets fixed in one of those files, you've suddenly got data inconsistency. The computer now sees two different students. Or what if you store the same home address in 5 different places? That's just wasteful. It's called data redundancy. This kind of digital mess is just, well, it's a recipe for disaster. And that is where data structures come to the rescue. They are our solution to all that chaos. You see, a data structure isn't just some random box you throw data into. No, it's a very specific, formal way of organizing information. It has its own set of rules, its own operations, and it's all designed to be super efficient. It's what turns a messy pile of data into a perfectly organized library where you can find exactly what you need in a snap. So with that in mind, let's meet the star of today's show. Now, there are tons of different data structures out there, but we're focusing on a simple type called linear data structures. And in that family, the stack is one of the most fundamental concepts you'll ever learn in computer science. Honestly, this slide says it all, because a stack is something you already understand. Just forget code, forget all the technical terms for a minute, and just look at these pictures. Think about a stack of plates at a buffet. When you add a clean plate, where does it go? Right on top. And when you need to grab a plate, which one do you take? The top one, of course. It's the exact same thing with a stack of books. This simple, everyday logic, that's the entire idea behind the stack data structure. Now, the simple idea has a fancy name. The LIFO Principle. It stands for last in, first out. The very last plate you put on the stack is always the very first one you take off. This one single rule dictates everything a stack does. It's the law of the stack, and trust me, it's a concept that examiners absolutely love to ask questions about. Okay, theory's great, but let's make this real. Let's translate this idea into actual code. Now, what's interesting in Python is there isn't a special built-in stack type. But we can easily make one using something you already use all the time, a plain old list. Let's see how the key operations, the rules of the stack, work in practice. This little diagram here is our perfect roadmap. You can see a stack is a linear structure where everything, and I mean everything, happens at one end, which we call the top. We're going to focus on the 3 essential operations that make a stack a stack. Push, which is for adding things, pop, which is for removing things, and peek, which is for, well, taking a peek without touching anything. First up, we've got push. Pushing an element just means adding it to the top of the stack. And if we're using a Python list, this is super easy. We just use the append function. When you write stack.append element, you're literally pushing that new element onto the top of your stack. Simple as that. Next, we have pop. This is basically the opposite of push. It removes the topmost element from the stack. And once again, Python's list makes our life easy. The pop method, when you just call it by itself, automatically removes and gives you back the very last item in the list, which is exactly what we want for our LIFO principle. It's perfect. And finally, we have peek. You might sometimes see this called peep, too. So what if you just want to know what's on top, but you don't actually want to remove it? Well, that's what peek is for. It's like a sneak preview. It's a non-destructive look at that top element. In our Python list, we can do this really easily just by looking at the last element using the index -1. So stack -1 lets you peek. Okay, let's switch gears and get to the part I know you've been waiting for. How is this stuff actually going to show up on your CBSE exam? And more importantly, what are the common mistakes and traps that you absolutely have to avoid? Here you go, a classic 2-mark question taken right from a CBSE sample paper. Differentiate between push and pop. Now, it seems really easy, right? But to get those full marks, your answer has to be precise and cover a few key details that go beyond just one adds and one removes. To absolutely nail this question, you want to structure your answer just like this table. For push, you need to say that it adds an element, it increases the stack size, and it can lead to an overflow error if the stack is already full. For pop, you say it removes an element, decreases the size, and here's the money point, it can cause an underflow error if you try to pop from an empty stack. Mentioning overflow and underflow is absolutely crucial. And that brings me to the single biggest mistake students make with stacks: forgetting to check for underflow. You just cannot pop an element from a stack that's already empty. It's impossible. If you try, your program will just crash. So in your exam code, you must always check if the stack is empty before you try to pop or even peek. I promise you, exam questions are often designed to test this exact scenario. All right, so we've covered the theory, we've covered the exam strategy, but you might be wondering, why should I care about this after my exam is over? Well, because stacks are literally everywhere. You use them every single day, and you probably don't even know it. Just think about it for a second. Every single time you hit the back button in your web browser, what's happening? You are popping the last website you visited off of a stack of URLs. When you hit undo, Control+Z in a document, you're popping your last action off a stack of changes. Even deeper, the very way that computer programs run and manage functions relies on something called the call stack. They are fundamental to how software works. So, I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Now that you really get the LIFO principle, last in, first out, start looking for it. Look for it in the apps you use, in your kitchen when you're stocking dishes. Where else can you spot a stack in action? I guarantee, once you start seeing them, you will never forget how they work. Thanks for tuning in.